Can join us. Ready?
Yep.
All right. I'll open this meeting of the Public Utilities Commission for Monday, May 21st, 2018. Please join me in the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay. Public input. We have no public with us. Dino's here.
Sorry about that.
It's all right. We just voted ourselves, we're all getting a raise, so just so you know.
Fantastic.
Correspondence, there's nothing came in. I think the main thing we have to do right now is approval of accepting the minutes of the regular meeting of May 7th, 2018. Entertain a motion to approve.
I'll make a motion to approve those minutes.
And I'll second. Any discussion, any corrections? And hearing none, those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, that carries.
Abstain.
Yeah, that's right, you weren't. Okay, so we have 3 voting, 1 abstention. Financial report, Mr. Kozlowski cannot be with us tonight. He is out of town. So we will table that till the next meeting. And invoices, so we do have I think 1 sheet of paper here. I'll put a motion on the floor to approve invoices dated May 21, 2018 in the amount of $14,901. Is there a second?
Second for discussion.
Okay, and this is for Zanellis. Tom, do you want to cover any of this?
Yeah, this was Zanellis' last invoice. If you look to the left there, the invoice date of 12/22/17.
Oh, yeah.
The total amount of that one was $84,000. We held back the $4,000 retainage, but we did not pay the $80,000 that was due on that invoice. And then at the March 5th meeting, we did a partial payment of $47,430 and some change. So of the remaining balance of that invoice of $32,955, Marius and I, were up there, looked at what's been done, and have come up with an additional $14,901 to be released from that invoice. And it's more or less some site work, about half of the remaining site work. He's done the grading, he's relocated the hydrant, he's done the landscaping, topsoil and seeding. And then the other part of that was mechanical. We were going to release about 25% of the remaining $18,000, holding back some more money. He's got some interior work to do around the exterior of the building and the stairs and waterproofing. So we felt at this point we were comfortable with releasing $14,901.
And what's the balance?
Yeah, what's the...
So from that last invoice of $84,000, the remaining balance, if we pay this $14,901, the remaining balance would be $18,054. And on top of that, the retainage to date for the project is $62,705. So we would still have in our possession $80,759.
What was that retainage number, 62?
$62,705 and 60 cents.
It's, okay, yeah. You sure it's not 62 cents? Okay. All right, any questions?
Yeah. On that Jason Neighbors property, we did the landscape, and there's a couple, did they take a couple big trees down?
Yeah.
Them stumps that are there? Are you gonna leave them stumps, or are you gonna grind them?
I think we're gonna grind them.
Yeah, because it looks like an eyesore.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
already called, and
Yeah.
All Seasons was real busy, so he gave us a number,
I
but
just
he
want to make
hasn't.
sure they're around.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna get him to grade. I wanted to get in there and do that before the
Yeah,
topsoil
all
and,
right, no problem.
and the seeds took hold.
No problem. All right.
Okay. All right, any other questions, comments? All right, we have a motion on the floor to approve as in the amount of $14,901. Those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed? The motion carries. Director's report. Tom, you're still up?
Yep, okay, a few things. Our I&I sanitary sewer evaluation study for sub-areas 9, 12, and 15. We signed the agreement with Weston and Sampson, and they actually have their contractor ready to start doing that work this week, starting Wednesday. It's going to entail the closed circuit TV inspections. That's going to start Wednesday. Their contractor is National Water Main Cleaning Company. The way the DEP grant program is, if there's any moderate or heavy cleaning to be done, that would be on the town. So I have numbers from them on what they would charge for any of that, and it really seemed to be more cost effective to continue with them if there's any cleaning to be done while they're there, while they're already mobilized. But that will remain to be seen until they get going. One of the other items is manhole inspections. They are also going to be doing that, and they'll be ready to do that starting next week. The closed circuit TV, they thought about 30 days worth. The manhole inspections starting next week, they had about 10 days worth of work. And then the other item on this project would be flow isolation. They're going to be doing that during the overnight hours between midnight and 6 a.m. And that was part of one of the handouts. I had I drew up a notice for the website. So I kind of just had no, it's the one with the letterhead on it.
Oh, this notice?
Exactly. So what I'm describing to you now is what more or less I was going to have on the website to let people know what was coming.
Okay.
And that flow isolation, they thought they had about 7 days worth of work, so figure a couple of weeks, and that would be between midnight and 6 a.m. They want to do that while there's low flow in the system. Hydrant flushing, we started last week. It's probably going to take us 4 to 5 weeks in total. It's been posted on the website. Galliford sent out a robocall for that first week. I'm going to update the list of streets to be done on a weekly basis. So the week 2 schedule went out on the website on Friday, so it's on there now. So I'll try to keep that up to date.
Okay.
So far, so good. The hydrants look pretty clean.
No failures?
We had one failure on Friday. The hydrant valve must have dropped out, and it's charged, so it's under pressure. So they shut it down at the hydrant leg valve, and they have it bagged. So we have that on the list to be replaced.
I want to ask you, are they doing flow tests on them?
They are.
Now, are they using one hydrant or 2 hydrants?
We're not. I wasn't having them doing residual tests where you do the 2.
Right.
I'm just getting a flow
You
and
just
getting.
run a static level, static,
I'm getting the static pressure,
that's all you're gonna do.
and I'm getting the flow
Flow.
that the hydrant can put out.
Right.
Then they're maintaining it. They're greasing the caps. They're taking a picture of it.
Yeah, because the true test is both hydrants.
Correct.
They do both.
When there's projects that are ongoing, usually the applicant is doing that.
Well, they're supposed to. The problem that you have is you never want to give an engineer that's doing the design and the system for a building your flow test, because you're responsible for it.
Correct. We have them go out, we
If you
witness
read
it with them.
wrong, like they did at Microtel.
Yep.
I told them when they did that,
Yep.
not to use Steiner's flow test. They said, no problem. Well, they did.
Yeah.
They ended up putting a fire pump in for $35,000.
Okay.
That's what it is, yeah, so I was just making sure that's.
Yeah, I wanted them to just kind of stick with, hey, let's get all these hydrants done. We haven't done them in a
No, I
while.
just want to make sure, all right.
Right. I plan on randomly going out and checking our system, but
Okay, no,
I'm letting
I
them just get all this
understand.
flow
No problem.
work done. Another item, our annual water quality report is due for 2017. We have to get them out to all our customers. We're going to get a note on the bills to direct people on where to find them online, and that's acceptable to the health department, so we don't have to publish them in the paper or mail them out with a direct mail.
Okay. Well, in the past, we put it in Penny Saver too.
Okay, at this point, I was just gonna go with, give them a note on the bill, have it on the website, and then we'll save the publishing.
If that's acceptable to DPH.
It is.
Okay.
It is. I've done it that way now for years. They've been accepting it that way.
Okay.
The report generally looks good. We found one reporting violation that we had to make note of. There was a couple of samples that, while the sample was collected in time and analyzed in time, and the results are acceptable, they didn't get to the health department by the first of the year, so they deem it as a reporting violation.
Yeah.
So I have a sentence or two on the annual report that indicates that, and I think they may have me publish that in the newspaper, but I'll follow up with them there.
Mhm.
So it was more of a timing issue than it was anything else.
Okay.
Did you look into why you missed the time?
Spoke to the lab. They couldn't give me a specific other than it was a human error on their part.
This isn't the first time.
No,
It's not. It's not. And I'm going to look into the lab we're using and try to maybe go out for bids and get quotes and look into that a little bit further.
Yeah, you're right, that's happened. It happens
Yeah.
about once a year, basically.
It's kind of a convoluted system the way the state has it with the numbering system, and you got to have like a special program that funnels that data into their system.
Mhm.
So I can see why you can go wrong, but you really shouldn't go wrong if you know what you're doing and you've been doing it.
You deal with it every month at work.
Yep. Norwalk, we dealt with it in-house and we were able to handle it, so.
Okay.
Two more items. The drinking water revolving fund loan applications were signed and submitted to DPH for the two projects that we got going now, the Briar Cliff
Mhm.
and the water main replacements. So that paperwork is now to them, and we're getting closer to being able to get those loans. And lastly, our annual Chestnut Ridge Clearwell inspections were done last week with no issues.
Okay. Good. That's it?
That's it.
You guys have any other questions? All right, moving on, there's no new business to consider at this meeting. Going on to old business, I'm sorry with you guys, I'll hold off the first item, proposal to acquire property, until the end of the meeting, so we can just finish the other items. No, any objections?
No.
All right, so the PUC capital project.
Okay.
Status.
Sure.
There
So
is.
I'll just go through my handout. I think everybody received it from Kathy. Horseshoe Water Booster Station. So as announced was out last week, they moved the hydrant. They're ready to put in a fence in this week. They're going to be there on Thursday to put the poles in. The fence will be installed next week. Then once the fence is installed, they're going to do final grading and paving, and that will be done on site. Briar Cliff Manor Booster Station construction. The contractor installed the water main. It's been installed. He's working on the water services. So that's moving forward. We had a meeting with Eversource on site. They need to install a new utility pole, and based on the storm issues and things like that, they told us it might take 4 to 6 weeks. But I guess Tom is going to reach out to the municipal representative from Eversource to try to expedite the process, to try to move it up a little bit. I don't know how much success we're going to have,
Yeah,
but right
I'll
now
wait a
they're.
week or two to let the storm.
But they're basically,
Yeah.
they're critical play. Well, good thing is they're working around this area, so they should have all the crews here,
Yeah.
right? That's a good thing about it. But So-
That makes a lot of sense, but that probably means it will never happen.
I know. But that's, but we're
It's
trying to
worth a
put
try.
pressure on them to get them over here and try to do that. So, yeah, the pump station to be on site the week, June 11th, so that's going to be installed. Just have to have power to it. We actually have a meeting this week with DPH. They're going to come on site to basically, review the project, review the paperwork on the project. So the meeting is on Wednesday, 10 o'clock in the morning. And I think after that meeting, we're going to send a letter out to DPH, basically request an extension, with the deadline to extend the project. And basically want to say, Eversource. What I've included here as part of the handouts, I don't know if Kathy printed it out, was the schedule. So this
Yeah.
is the latest schedule for the contractor. So.
This
Yes, yeah, the Gantt chart, so, it looks like it's gonna be done, if, everything falls in place, he's gonna be done on July 12th, but it's not gonna happen because Eversource, he's showing Eversource being on site next week, which, won't happen. So once we get an updated date from Eversource, he can update his schedule. But yeah, he has plenty of work to do. He's working on the services, he's gonna work on the pump station, get everything ready. His electrician could start working on the, all the pads and everything for the equipment, and so they don't really need to wait for Eversource to get there. They could do the work independently and move everything along as much as possible, and then just wait for the pole to show up, and then they could just run power to the new cabinet. So they're gonna do that moving forward. The water main replacement design, so the 100% design, we received comments from Tom and Kelly, and those comments were incorporated, and we sent out the 100% design to DPH. DPH informed us it's going to take a couple of weeks to turn around, so we expect to hear something back from within a week and a half. We'll check again when we meet with him on Wednesday this week, about the status. So once we get the approval, we can go out to bid with those water main projects. Additional groundwater supplies, Bergstrom Field. So we're actually waiting to get a permit from the DEP to install the monitoring wells on their property. We actually received the agreement today, And I think Tom is going to have, Mr. Knickerbocker sign it, and we have to send it back to the state. GZA will be on site this week to perform their turtle and fish assessment work. And again, this is just to, anticipate issues with the DEP to already, define is there any fish, is there any turtles there? So we have some, bullets in our pocket if DEP comes hard on us and tell us. So they're going to be there Wednesday and Thursday this week to do the survey. And then there's some coordination work that we, doing with Tom and Bob Dibble. There's some solid piles on site that need to be removed. There's some beaver dams we have to take care of. And there's some minor clear training before the contract can get on site. So that's being coordinated with Tom. Again, I know there was a little, we got a lot of rain. It's really hard to get those beaver dams. So I think Bob is waiting for the area to dry out. We'll basically go in and really, take those apart because we have to monitor the stream flow. If the beaver dams are there, it's not going to be good data. So kind of working on that process as well. And then drilling to begin in June is going to take a month, and hoping to start a contest, end of July and August, right period. So.
Matt, one question. Will we have to fence that area in once that's done, and wells are done because of the ball field and the parking of cars down there?
Yes, we're probably going to have to.
Push us to
Yes.
fence that in?
Yeah, because you don't want to have any stockpiles either. Well, if that's going to be the groundwater watershed, and
No, show them that you're gonna fence it in so the cars don't have to worry about contamination.
yeah, that could be part of the project. We could get into part of the project to get the funding grant to do that fence as well, because DP is going to require it as part of the construction. Yeah,
Is that going to be a permanent fence?
Or should be a permanent fence,
Yeah.
sure.
yeah, permanent fence. Yeah.
Gated so you
Public
can
water
check it, Yeah.
Public water supply. So that's going to be part of the construction when we do the wells, because that's what DP is going to require. So. SCADA communication study. So I guess we continue to complete the SCADA study, and and that's going to be done relatively soon. And then next phase to the field measurement in June and July. So that's on the way. And I guess Chestnut Ridge Tank is work in progress, and that's moving forward as planned. So okay.
Okay, great. Any other questions?
The only thing I've got to ask you is for the fence over there. It's going to be locked, right? You're going to provide the lock?
At the well field when we fence it?
No. Well, no,
Hoyt's.
no, I mean,
The
Hoyt still.
pump
Oh, at
station?
Hoyt's?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, once that's installed, sure, we're gonna have our standard, utility system department lock on there. Sure.
Okay, good.
Absolutely.
That's what I was concerned about.
Yep.
Right, thank you for this. These
Sure,
are very,
yeah.
very
You
helpful.
got stairs going off of there too, right?
Yeah.
The only question you have when you have a pump station that we have, like the one on South Street, the pump station that we have up there, there's no landing there to get off there. We step down.
Yeah, there's going to be landing. Yeah, there's going to be landing there.
That one on South Street should have landing there. 'Cause
Yeah.
when you open that door, there's nothing to step on.
Nothing to step down, yeah.
It's not even very big to it.
Okay.
Stuff you have to look at.
Okay.
Before you run the station.
Sure.
Okay,
Okay, that's noted. Yeah.
all right, thank you, Barry.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, item number 3, fog program update. You don't really have it, do you?
I don't have any real good updates for us, other than I've just been trying to compile data, and we'll keep it on the agenda, and as time permits. Last week, we had a bunch going on with the hydrant flushing and the water quality report, so I didn't get to too much of the fog.
Yeah. We only had, just to remind you guys, we only had one company bid, so we're going to go to a town that we know just instituted the rules and regs and basically look at what they have and model our program off that. So we're going to try to get that done in the next month. So, all right, so moving on, supervisor's report, Kelly's not with us tonight, so. All right, so at this point, I would like to make a motion that we go into executive session, inviting in the town attorney, the director of public utilities, and the recording
Good
secretary.
night. And we're set. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
No problems.
No problems. Thank you.
All right, is there a second?
Close the doors.
All right,
Thanks.
all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, we'll pause for a minute. So Kathy,
I'm gonna actually turn it off this time.
it-
Good.
okay, so we're out of executive session, and actually we have no further items to vote on, no further action items, so I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Second.
All right, those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, it carries. Thank you very much. That's going to be the shortest meeting on record.
Yeah.
I think the last one was shorter.
So what do we do?